Today, our champion, Chris Sargent of Haverhill, Massachusetts, faces the challenge of Dan Gallant from North Attleboro, Massachusetts, on Candlepin bowling. Hi, everyone. Welcome once again to Candlepin Bowling. I'm Dan Gillis, always speaking for the whole crew, however, when I say we're sure glad you chose to join us here at the Fairway in Natick, Massachusetts. It'll be 3 strings of Candlepin bowling. Total pinfall will determine our winner. Each bowler takes home a permanent souvenir. These are provided by Din Brothers of Boston Holyoke, and obviously they make a nice souvenir as they're inscribed with the date of their appearance and their name and so forth. And each will also take home some guaranteed prize money. $700 goes to the winner, $350 to the runner-up, $50 to the winner of each string. Should they tie, they would each get $50. And our marksman of the day will receive a $50 gift certificate from Rotman's Furniture of Worcester. That's the bowler, obviously, with the most marks. Okay, let's talk to today's bowlers, shall we? Okay, Danny, you've been hiding for
a couple of years, yeah. It's tough to get on, not for the lack of trying, that's for sure.
You know, that's one thing I was just thinking about when I was talking about those little Din Brothers souvenirs, because it shows it's something you can put on the shelf and say, I was good enough to beat a whole lot of bowlers to get on this program.
You're absolutely right. You know, 40, 50 bowlers in a final roll-off, it's tough to be number one.
Well, you know that the guy you're challenging today won his first appearance, and unfortunately you ran into a guy named Danny Murphy the first time, huh?
I remember that well. It was during the Super Bowl year of '86 with the Patriots, I think, and he threw one of his 400s against me 10 years ago, 11 years ago, probably.
That's right, it was a 414.
Yeah,
now let's talk to another guy who's rolled a 400 here. You feel pretty relaxed now after what happened last week?
Yes, after the 3rd string, I'm all right now.
Yeah. Because I know you were a little bit tight, and I don't blame you. I mean, after all, a lot of people were looking for what you were going to do because they've heard a lot about you. You know, you're aware of the fact that a lot of folks have talked about you, being the son of a real good Candlepin bowler. Well, you beat his appearance in the first time. Now your next challenge is to beat his 438 the second time.
I'm going to try.
All right. That's all we can ask. Good luck to you and also to you. We'll get underway right after this. Dan Gallant of North Attleboro, our challenger, high single 199, high triple 503, and league average 125. One and three, that's what he's looking at. That one went off to the right, and he's got a kind of a sheepish grin on his face at the moment. There it is. Sort of like, how did I do that? So it's a 10. This is the 8th appearance on our show for Danny. One, 2, 3, and 9 with no wood. Good try, but however, there are 2 pins still standing. One of them the 9, the other one is the one that he wanted to have go, the 2. Like that. Now here comes Chris Sargent, who made his debut last week. High single 199. His high triple is 530 rather than 503, and his league average is 131. Half Worcester, right side. Rolled a 403 last week in winning his debut and defeating Jack Ray. Oh, he came right back and made a spare. Eight is the fill, and he has a spare leave of the 4 and 7. So he has begun with a pair of spares. Now challenger Dan Gallant. Spare leave. It's a 6-pin, and he has 3 pieces of wood. Spare. The fill is 6. He did not get the head pin. He has the 7 alone over in the corner, and also 1, 3, 6. Oh, yes. Pretty spare. Oh, we've seen some great shots already between these 2 guys. Both young, excellent Candlepin bowlers. Now our defending champion, Chris Sargent, that one went off to the right for a half Worcester. And just 2. But he came right back again. Twice he has made spares after just getting 2 on the first ball. Six, unusual configuration, the 1, the 5, the 8, and the 9. Is it going to go? The 8-pin is rocking more and more. Nope. Everybody rooting for that except Danny. Okay, it's a 10. After 4 boxes, we always take a check on the scoreboard in the first and in the second string. With the bonus ball still to be rolled by our challenger, Dan Gallant, the score at the moment is Sargent 56 and Gallant 46. Working on a spare. He has 2 on the board, hoping for bonus money with 3 in a row at least. Everything down except the 6-pin. Wood just barely touching it in back. Yes, he has it. And he has $50 in bonus money for 3 marks in a row. Almost a strike. He has left the 10-pin. Oh, that one got away. It went into the gutter on the right. That's what he wanted to do. He got it for a 10. Our defending champion, Chris Sargent, whose father, Mike, was one of our fine candlepin bowlers back, well, it really is, Mike, it really is 25 years ago. I just didn't like to say it, that's all. But I was there too. Okay, the corners are full now with the 7 and 10. 2 pieces of wood on an angle just to the right of the 7. Oh, he got it. For a moment it appeared that perhaps it was not going to go. And a big 9-pin fill. Yes, another mark. And up comes Dan Gallant, today's challenger. Didn't like that when it went off to the right just a little bit and missed the head pin. He's looking at 4 horsemen plus the 5 and the 8 on the left and the 10 pin. Now the corners are full. While I have an opportunity, I want to remind you, Channel 40's next show is going to come on right after this one. So, Channel 40's next Candlepin Bowling show is coming on right after this one. I needed that reminder because all I said was the next show, which could have been anything. But I think you knew when it was I saying it, because why otherwise would I be saying that for Channel 40? But anyway, their Candlepin show, next show, is coming on right after this one. Good try by Danny Gallant, but he didn't get the 7 pin. Quit. Not in this show. All right, Chris. He has a spread eagle. Chris, I think I know I mentioned it as I was giving the statistics, but I don't think I told you today. I did tell everybody last week that the 530 high triple of Chris Sargent is a world record in candlepin bowling. That is the highest three-string total, 530. And I also mentioned that Dan Gallant had a 503, just a little reversal of the last 2 numbers. Four horsemen left side, and in back the 9-pin. It's a tough shot. He had a piece of wood. It rolled away. Now it's behind the 4-pin. But it was up against the 9, which made that a lot easier. Seven and 9 still standing. He set that at the Pilgrim Lanes, with which we're very familiar, where we have our championship show each year. His roll-off was at the Georgetown Lanes. Dan Gallant, today's challenger, rolled a 662 in winning his roll-off at the Stoughton Sports Center. Thin hit that time. One, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One, 7, and 10 still there. It's a 7. Al Giglio is keeping score on the electronic scoreboard as usual. Bruce Goldman is filling in for Keith Williams today. Phil Rubin, of course, is our producer and director. Dan Gallant on lane number 3 here at the fairway, looking at 2, 4, 7, and 3, 6, 9. Nice shot. Oh, yeah. What a beauty. In the last box, but a beauty. All right, 119 plus. Ralph Stewart, look at that sweater. Our Loveline judge and referee. Just 3 for Phil. And a 122. Now Chris Sargent. He's got a diamond left plus the 7. And the diamond is made up of the 2, 4, 5, and 8. He also has the 7. Nope. Our crew today is Keith Godfrey, Bob Marsosi, Art Donahue, Skip Peabody. And yes, Phil Rubin is in charge, our producer and director. I guess I didn't even have to tell you if you couldn't see what that was. A strike. Six on the first ball. 4 horsemen right side. 1, no wood. 1, 3, 6, 10. Got just 1. So the fill is 7. $50 in bonus money will go to our defending champion, Chris Sargent, as he has won the first string 135 to 122. Middle string means our defending champion leads it off. Here he is, Chris Sargent. 2 full that time on the head pin, almost a spread eagle. The 9 didn't go. Still 6 pin standing. The collection on the right obviously is made up of the 3, 6, 9, and 10. It's an 8. Two pins standing. 4 and the 7. He had a piece of wood come rolling over from the right and rocked them a little bit. That got some of the folks here a little excited. Fair. Challenger Dan Gallant. That is almost a backdoor strike. He started over on the right and then stuff kept tumbling. Everything went down except the 2 pin. Dan, by the way, in the last stop on the World Candlepin Bowling Congress Pro Tour came in second. Craig Holbrook won it. Dan Gallant was second. It was 1398 pins to 1355. 8, that's the fill, and he's looking at the 5 and 10. As we say, sometimes referred to as the old Woolworth. 5 and 10. No, didn't quite get it. Got the 5, obviously, but it went into the pit before reaching the 10. Double wood in the gutter, and no, he missed it. I mean, he missed the wood, so he made the 10. But that's a little intimidating when you see those pieces of wood in the gutter just to the right of your object pin. Chris Sargent now looking at the 1, 2, 8, and 9. Wood is off to the left. The fill was 6 on his spare. He has another. Eight is the fill, but it's a split. 6 pin and the 7 pin. And there's a piece of wood which is perpendicular to that 6 pin. It's now moved just slightly to the left, but still overlapping it by an inch or so. I don't know what he'll do with it, but that's what he did with it. Oh, take another look at that one, will you? Wow. A beauty. I tried to describe for you the way that perpendicular to the 6 pin was. Now Dan Gallant. Dan is looking at 9 and 10. They're the 2 pins that are standing. With wood. And surprisingly, nothing happened, even with all that wood. It's a 9 box. Dan had close, as you saw, to 3 pins, but Chris has come back. Same leave that we've seen, the 9 and the 10. This time there are 2 pieces of wood off to the left and another one that's perpendicular to the pit and just slightly to the right of the 9 pin. He studied it. He knows what he wants to do, but didn't hit anything. It's another 9-box. Okay, after 4 in the first and in the second, another check on the scoreboard with a bonus ball still to be rolled by our defending champion, Chris Sargent. He is leading here 52-46. Chris Sargent working on a spare. He has a strike on his spare, and he has 4 marks in a row. For a moment, it looked as if he was going to get them all. The steady pin was the 2, but the 4-pin, after everything else was down, was rocking and a little bit toward it. Ooh, surprise! He got just the 2. It's a 9. Dan Gallant. One, 2, 5, 8, 9. Still has 5 and 8. It's a 9-box. Strike for Dan Gallant. Everything down except the 7. Every single time this excellent young Candlepin bowler fires a ball, it looks as if it will be a mark. He just fires with so much velocity and so much action on the ball, and so accurately. It's another one, another spare. This time he missed the head pin. Got 5. The 4 horsemen left side and the 9. Didn't convert that one, left the head pin and the 9 pin. However, he has 5 marks so far in this middle string. All right, Dan Gallant is working on a strike. Oh, so close. Did not get the 9 pin. Wood in front of and wood in back of. So it is a spare. He gets 6, but he's got a diamond. No wood. Went too far to the right. So the diamond wins again, and he has 3 pins standing. The 2, the 4, and the 8. Nope, they're still standing. 7. 98 through 8. Now Chris Sargent. Wow, another strike. 124 plus 2 bonus balls. Still standing, the 1, 3, 6, 4, 7. Chris had a big day last week, rolling over 400, 403, also hit the high-low jackpot. $140. Now Dan Gallant for his final 2 in the middle string. Is he going to get a strike? No. Despite all of the folks here almost commanding some of those pins to go down, especially that last one. All right, that's a spare. 108 at the moment, plus this bonus ball. Nine. 7 pin to pick up for a spare. A lot of wood there. And it acted as a roadblock. He thought sure that touching that piece of wood, I thought he'd go directly for it. Maybe he didn't intend to touch that wood. It looked as if a last-second decision, should I go directly at it or should I use some of that wood? Well, whatever happened, he didn't get it. And so it's a 127. Another $50 in bonus money for Chris Sargent, and he has won the middle string, 140 to 127. Now leads in the match by 26 pins, 275 to 249. Our challenger, Dan Gallant, getting the signal and ready to go. So close to a strike. He has left the 5-pin, but he gets good action. He got it, and that was not easy simply because there was wood on an angle that was near it, which could have diverted the ball one way and the pin the other, but he got it. Just 4. No wood to help. 3 more. 4 and 7 over on the left. 6-pin with wood in front of it on the right. And he only got 1 of the 2 on the left. So it's an 8 box. Now Chris Sargent making his second appearance on our program, his first last week. His father was one of the outstanding Candlepin bowlers back about 25 years ago. In fact, he made his debut in 1970. That was, of course, 25 years ago. He bowled 372, won his first, beating Lee Bergeron. Did not make the spare here, Chris. But then on Mike's second appearance, which is Chris's second appearance today, Mike bowled 153, 127, 158, a 438, and defeated Bob Kelly. That was the Bob Kelly who used to bowl much more often, not Mary Ann's husband. And that combined total of 848 lasted as our program high for many, many years. Made it. If you're wondering what the highest debut total belongs to, what a day that was. The old Boylston Bowlodrome when we were on the air live. That's when a whole bunch of people came from Watertown to root for somebody named Rosario Lecchiara. Oh, Danny missed another 2-pinner. And he rolled a 164, which at that time in the first string tied our then high. And then in the second, he hit a 177, followed by a 127, a 468. That was on December 2nd, 1967. And he, that day, beat Jim Drysdale, who didn't know what hit him. A 326 is what Jim had. Boy, I'll tell you, that place was jumping. Nice shot. Nice spare made. Now, Chris's fill is 8. He's looking at the 2-pin and the 10-pin. He has wood in front of the 10. Nope, that surprised him. He thought he had played it correctly. Three 6-10 on the right, 4-pin on the left, no wood. Nope, missed the object pin. Took out the 6 and 10, but did not get the 3. It's a 9. Now Dan Gallant comes up working on a spare. The fill is 6. His object pin becomes the 2. He has the 2 and the 7 on the left with wood behind them, and over on the right the 6 and 10. Everything except the 6. It's a 10 box. I've already told you how much noise there was that day in the Boylston Bolodrome when Rosario was doing that. The 5, 7, and 10 is what Dan is looking at with a lot of wood. The other thing that made it so memorable was that Rosario was so expressive, shall I say. Nice shot as he made it. If Rosario did not get the shot, and he didn't miss many, but if he didn't get him, I'll tell you, he first slapped his forehead and turned around and said some words. Somebody said he said the rosary, but actually there were some familiar words there, but they were. Oh, great try. All right, enough of that. He's opposite a spare by Dan Gallant. Looking at 1 and 10. Yes, he made it. All right, each now has a spare in the 6th. And going into filling that 6th, it's a 24-pin lead for Chris Sargent. 4 boxes to go. All right, Danny got 6 as a fill. His object pin becomes the 3. He has the 3, 5, 9, and 10. Wood just to the right of the 3. No. 9 and 10 still there. It's an 8 box. Here's a spare leave on the left. It's the 2, the 4, and the 7, and there's a piece of wood partially behind the 2 and in front of the other 2 pins. And, oh, he missed it entirely. Even there, the danger would have been on the other. He got just the 4 and the 7. But when it could have been a spare, he missed everything. So he did 8 and 9. Now Chris Sargent with a 24-pin lead coming into the 7th and 8th boxes. He comes along with a strike. First bonus ball. Spread eagle. That's what the reaction was, in case you are one of the many who do not have sight but like to listen. And this time he got everything except the 7 pin. It's a 10. He's at 105. He needs 125 for another 400. Dan Gallant comes along with a strike, and then with a kind of a grin on his face, he shakes his head and says, "Now you do it." Great. After the boxes of 8 and 9. He has 2 strikes in a row. We all know that 3 strikes in a row is worth $1,000. So there'll be a lot of rooting for him here. The pins are set, and here he goes. Oh, right on the head pin, but too full. So 4 more pins were added to the other box. And it's a 7 final box as he congratulates Chris Sargent. Rolled a 132. Now Chris Sargent. Chris needs 20 pins in these last 2 boxes for a 400. He'll get it. That's a spare as he took down the 4 horsemen. Now at 115, plus what he gets on this next ball. Very thin hit. 1, 2, 7, 8, 9, 6, and 10. And so far an 8. And he got 2 more. I think that gives him 403 again. 2 consecutive 403s. However, $50 goes to Dan Gallant for winning the 3rd string by a score of 132 to 128. How about that? 2 consecutive 403s for Chris Sargent, and he has won it, as you can see, 403 to a fine 381 by Dan Gallant. $784, not dollars, no, that's the total of both bowlers combined. 650. That's the number of dollars that we're hoping maybe we'll give away today. If someone can guess within 10 either side of that. But even if it's nowhere near that, that person is rewarded, as you know, with a $50 gift certificate from Christmas Tree Shops. All right, let's find out. 784. Okay, guys, I did it left-handed, and then I did it right down the middle as far as I could put my... Okay? All right. Let's see. This one is from South Yarmouth, Massachusetts, Old Main Street. The man's name is Waldo Howe, and Howe. His number was 792, so how about that? Yeah, okay. We have a winner. Now, only $75, huh? You want to knock him down again? High-low jackpot. Chris knocked them down for $350 last week. Oh, you decided to tease us a little bit, huh? Okay, Danny. Not today. That hurt, huh?
Sounded like it hurt it.
Yeah, okay, let's get over here now and see if I can find out what to give to whom.
I think I got the smaller version once again.
You did enjoy, I hope, your stay just the same, even though you stayed away for 2 years.
Yeah, I bowled well. Chris, I think the final second game when he went 4 in a row and I had 4 open checks, picked up about 30 pins on me. So
well,
Chris is a tough bowler, tough to get behind 30, 40 pins and try to make it up.
I know it. On the Pro League, though, you came in second the last time. Huh?
Yeah, I bowled good last month. Yeah.
All right, let's see. For you, let's see. I have $100 in bonus money plus the $350 plus your little souvenir here. And come back and see us again soon.
Definitely will.
Thank
you, Don.
Come on, Chris. Come over here. You get the larger of these two. Oh, before I forget it, another $50 gift certificate from Rotman's Furniture. $700 for winning, $350 in bonus money. And what are you going to tell your dad now? Are you going to...
Couldn't catch him again. I'm trying.
Okay. Well, you're doing very well. You rolled 2 400s anyway. And next week, there's going to be a guy. What's his name now from Lynn? Joe Tavernese is going to be a challenger. Okay. We'll see you next week. Same time. Bye-bye, everybody.